Good afternoon, District Representatives. I am Micaela Perdomo, and I'm here to show and speak about the importance of different play to a child's growth and development. Our school has been incorporating play in our activities, and we have observed that the children in our school show greater development and improvement in some skills and personalities. Each type of play can be deemed useful for the growth of a child. Accompanied by proper supervision, spontaneous, guided, and teacher directed type of play can make learning and development fun, enjoying, and effective for children. But why do we need to develop play in early years in their life? Could we not do it when they reach their adolescent stage of their lives? We all know that it is important to develop a child as early as possible because the lessons and things that a child will learn can be carried out as the child grows up. As early as a child can practice certain things, those things will become more of a habit. In addition to that, the type of guidance or development will become a big factor to a person's outlook, status, and principle in life. So what can do this play contribute? What are the good effects of incorporating different kind of play when nurturing children? I could tell you 100 reasons, but I'm afraid I will just bore you out. So I'm going to tell you a few of the best reasons why we resort to play. Eisenberg and J. Longo both contribute to an article entitled Why is Play Important? Social and emotional development, physical development, creative development. In their article, they argue that play is an important tool in developing the children socially. They elaborated more their claim by citing further processes incorporated in play. They argue that children can practice both their verbal and nonverbal communication skills by discussing roles with others, by trying to be included on an ongoing play, and giving value to what others people feel. Play also makes children respond to their peers or friends' feelings while waiting for their respective turns, and when sharing different playing materials and experiences to them. Children also get to experiment with different roles of the people that they see and observe in their home, school, and community. This is a good way on how we can see children's perception to the different people and how do these people influence the children who are interacting to them. Lastly, children can experience different point of view when they are working through various conflicts regarding space, play materials, or by working on roles. Play does not only socially develop a child, it can also support emotional development by making children express and cope up with their state emotionally. Eisenberg and J. Longo also said that play can help children express their feelings in various ways. They can simplify events by creating an imaginary plot or a scenario compensating their emotional state. An example of that is when a child is afraid of the dark. He or she can remove or eliminate nighttime or darkness during his or her play. Spontaneous or symbolic type of play offers a different perspective. Fergus Hughes, who is a professor at the University of Wisconsin, said that researchers show that the intellectual development of children indicate enhancement of some cognitive skill during play, especially while on the course of spontaneous play. Professor Hughes said that measurement, equivalence, balance, spatial concepts, concentration, conservation, reversibility, and logical classification were observed and found some positive and notable improvement. Children can also do all of those things because when they play, they are allowed to create alternative worlds that encourage encourage them to be part of the imaginative representation of reality. Spontaneous play develops the child's need to put in order a complex environment where they can put trend so that they can give meaningful dialogue, script, and a scenario for any possible actions that will be done in the future. This type of play also encourages children to play, consider different courses of action, and relay these plans and courses of action to other people. When a child is extensively involved in this type of play, a child can also improve his or her memory skills, language development, and the cognitive abilities regarding the taking of the other perspectives. Professor Hughes also states more benefits that a child can get from spontaneous play. There are research that show the relationship of spontaneous play and linguistic development because the four aspects of the language system of humans, which are the phonological, syntactic, semantic, and pragmatic, are all incorporated into the play of the children. Adults can also intervene when children play. This is where the guided type of play comes into the picture. Rio Saxon, 2014, said that although this type of play cannot be really classified as a child's play, it helps the children to spend time with older people and adults like their parents or older relatives. When children and adults interact during the play, adults can provide the children's explanation, assistance, and can make them clarify and understand concepts which are related to their play. Adults can also help children develop certain skills when they are discussing or doing an activity during the play. It is also a way where adults can show their love to the children so that these children could feel valued and loved. If you're still not convinced about the good things that play can bring, I'm going to tell you a scenario. A study is done by Dr. Amy Webb in 2012 where she categorized children into three groups to organize certain blocks. The children were free to play in the blocks in the first group with only little assistance from the adults. The second group is where the children play with the blocks that were pre-assembled, and the last group is where the children were guided by adults to build a structure from a given graphic directions. Obviously, children in the third group were the ones who have shown the greatest improvement in the spatial learning. This was because that the children learned the concept faster by listening to the adults while creating the structure from the blocks. This is what guided play can give to your children. The last type of play that I'm going to share with you that can be incorporated in early education and early school years of children is a teacher-directed kind of play. This is similar to a guided type of play but with a little difference in the setting. Teacher-directed play and activities usually happen in classroom and the guiding adult is the teacher of the children. In this type of play, the teacher are the ones who will introduce a certain play or activity and they will also be the ones who will give the children throughout the process of the play until the activity is done or completed. Kara Page, who is an EHA contributor, said that a study by Education Policy Analysis yielded that a good mix of a teacher directed along with a children's initiated play and activities is one of the best ways of encouraging children to a successful long-term participation. However, Page also added that through activities and play which are directed by teacher are important, teachers should still allow young children to think on their own and make decisions on their own. Ann Holmes, 2014, also argued that the teacher's addition of fun factors make children be more interested in the learning activities. If a teacher can build on a child's natural curiosity to things, that child can have longer attention span and can ensure his or her participation in class. Teachers should always remember that the teacher-directed activities are not just for entertainment, but also for learning. The challenge now is how we can incorporate the play in a child or a preschool curriculum. Since play is an enjoying activity for children, it will not be hard to incorporate it because it will increase the maximum potential in learning. Let me focus on the Connecticut preschool curriculum framework made by the Connecticut State Department of Education in 2008. In this type of curriculum, we can incorporate the play and activities as early as the first phase of the framework, most especially in the brainstorming of activities and strategies. Educators should know the appropriate and proper play. They can be incorporated in a certain learning activities so that children can learn and understand things you want to teach them faster. We can know if we are successful after we're able to access the children if the play incorporated in the learning activities were helpful in the learning or not. We can compare the results from other institutions that do not incorporate play in the school and learning activities to the institutions that incorporate play. If the children from the institution that incorporated play show faster and greater development, then we can say that the play is really a vital factor of the development of children, especially in the early years. I hope that I was able to convince you regarding my claim that the addition of play is an important learning tool for the development of young children. This is also the same ideal that my school believes, and I hope that I was able to clear your minds from doubts and skepticism. Thank you and have a wonderful afternoon.